Hello and welcome to the formative exercise in databases for using software application packages D85F34 unit. Down here we have the formative exercise. I should explain that by following this worked example you'll see how to achieve the solution for this exercise, but you should still actually carry it out yourself. You won't learn anything useful by just following what I do. Once completed this one though, you should be able to tackle this extra consolidation exercise. Both these exercises are highly recommended before you move on and, as you see down here, attempt the actual summative assessment. So first of all, what we need to do is open that formative task. I already have it open up here in a second tab, which allows me to access the questions and work through this exercise. The first one here is to open the access database file staff.mdb and make sure that we save that to a memory stick or student storage. Now, be careful here. As we click on this here, it gives us the opportunity to either open it or save it. The best one to do is open it. It's going to open it directly from the LearnNet system, which we won't be able to work with, but I'll show you what you have to do. At the moment there it is. It's been opened up under a temporary area. Double click on it and we have two problems up here. There's a security warning, which we should go in there and we should enable the content, which will allow us to work freely with it later on. And the other problem we've got is it's read only. We now need to save our own version of it, and this is where you should save it to your own area or a memory stick. In my case, I'm going to save it to my storage area on the lecturer's drive, which is called Robert Burns, which we'll find in here. I'm just going to save it at the top area of it. It's going to be called the staff database, and I'll click there, and that will remove the read-only. I thought I'd already removed this, but we'll remove that again. Okay, so that's us now in a working position to be able to tackle this exercise. So, having done that now, we can close down and come back to here, and if we look in this tab here, the second thing was create a query using the staff list table showing works number, surname, salary and position for all employees earning more than £20,000. The query should be sorted in order of salary and then name the query as USAPEX2. So that's fairly straightforward for us. What we're going to do is create a query. So let's have a look at what we've got in this database. Well, a database is a collection of what we call objects, and the primary object in any database is the tables. And here's the courses table and the staff table. Now, it was the staff table that the question was asking us about. Okay, if we just come back to that again and confirm. The staff table, we want a query. So let's have a quick look before we do anything and familiarise ourselves with the staff table. Double clicking it and it will open. And what you see here is that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fields: works number, surname, first name, position, date of employment, national insurance number, salary and date of birth. There are a total in this database of what we call down here the records, and the total number of records are displayed at the bottom here as 12. Okay, 12 records. Currently this one is record 1 of 12 records, and this one here is record 6 of the 12 records. A total of 12 records. Now we want to create a query. A query will allow us to select a subset of information, a subset of records from this main table. The query will return either 0 or a maximum of 12 or somewhere in between. So how do we actually create a query on this table? Well, we don't need to see the table anymore. We can see the information in the table known as the data, and that's the data there. Creating a new query, we need to use the Create tab. Okay, and creating a query over here, we've got the Query Wizard. Now I actually prefer to use the Query Design. Okay, you can use the Query Wizard, but the Query Design suits me much better. So I'm going to click on Query Design and here it opens up. Now queries are always built on tables or other queries. Now we of course have two tables at the moment, but the one that we're wanting to use is the staff table. So I'm going to add that to my query. Okay, and there it appears there. I can now close this because I only want one. I'm going to extend this window to allow us to see all the fields. Now notice we're seeing the names of the fields. We're not seeing the content in the fields at the moment. Let's go back and remind ourselves again of exactly what we had to do here. We were wanting works number, surname, salary and position for all employees earning £20,000 or more. Well, that'll be the salary field. So back to the database query, we're saying we want works number. Now we can take that and drag it down into the query, okay, and drop it in there. Or there's other ways of doing it, but the first one was works number. Then we wanted surname, salary and position. So other ways of doing it: works number, surname, salary and position. And I've done it in the same order. I've created it in the same order that it states in the question. Now these are the only fields that the query is going to display. The other thing that we needed to do was we need to have a criteria on salary, because if you recall going back here, we wanted to have a salary of £20,000 or more. So anybody earning 20,000 or more. So we could put in here a simple statement saying greater than 20000, and that will give us what we want. It should actually be greater than or equal to, because it does say £20,000 or more. Okay, that's our salary there. If we go back again and just check the final part here, it says the query should be sorted in order of salary. So we now want to make sure that it's displayed in order of salary. Well, there it's there. Here's the sort field here. Okay, there it says sort. We'll go along here and we'll sort it, and we'll make it salaries ascending. So what it's going to do, remember there were 8 records in total in this database, but this query is going to extract some. Let's now just save the query. When we save the query, it now asks for the name. Let's remind us now what that was to be saved as, and it was USAPEX2. So back in here, and we'll type in USAPEX2 and click OK. So that's us now saved it. Up here, here's the views. The design view when we're creating it, and the data sheet view when we want to see the results. Let's click on data sheet, and here comes back the answers. We've got the works numbers, the surnames, the salaries in ascending order, and the positions. We've retrieved 5 of the original 8 records. So this query, which we've now created, and there's a little query logo so that we know that's a query and that's a table, we now have 5 rows of information. Okay, we'll do the third task now. It says create a query using the staff list table showing all the fields for all employees employed before 1992. Okay, so it's the same as before, but this time we're creating all employees employed before 1992. Now we no longer need this query, so we can delete that, but there it's still there. If I double click it, here it comes back. If I want to look at the design of it, there's the design. Okay, and we can save that. That's now saved. So we want to create another query. So again, create, back to the query design. This new query again is using the staff table, so we'll add that in and we'll close it. And then we'll drag that out so we can see everything we want. And it says to us again, let's just remind ourselves that we're getting this correct. Staff list table showing all the fields for all employees employed before 1992. So we'll click up here and it's wanting all the fields. So I'm just going to double click all the way through, and there we have all the fields now down here in the query table. And it's wanting date of employment before 1992. So that means anything less than, okay, the less than symbol, it'll be the 31st of December 1991. That's everybody that's before 1992. If I just click there, so if I click here, you'll see that it now formats it correctly for us. It's doing the rest for us. Was there anything else we needed on this query? Checking back, it says all employees, no. So we don't need anything else on that particular query. So we'll go back. Before we look at it, we will save it. Okay, and here it comes back. We will look for the name, and the name this time is USAPEX3. So we'll just type that in there, USAPEX3, and save that query. And there it appears there. Now that we have this design area, we can go in here again and click Data Sheet View, and there we have it there. This time it's bringing back all 8 records from the database. We'll close this one down, and it's got all the fields, and it's not sorted in any particular order. If we have a look back at the table, it had 12, sorry, I forgot it had 12 to begin with. So we've taken 8 out of 12 on that second query. So just to recap, There's our first query, which brings back 5 out of 12 records. That's the one on only 4 fields where the salary is greater than or equal to £20,000. And here is the second query, which is the one with all employees employed before the 1st of January 1992, and this one results in a return of 8 individuals who were employed before that date. All the fields are displayed and they're not sorted in any particular order.